morning sun warmed the valley, casting a golden glow over a vibrant meadow where dozens of butterflies danced from bloom to bloom. A gentle hum filled the air as bees darted between clover and lavender. Near the edge of the meadow stood an ancient oak tree, its trunk so wide it looked like a castle tower. At its roots grew a massive, iridescent flower with petals that shimmered like pearls. Suddenly, a butterfly unlike any other fluttered down from the canopy. Her wings were translucent, spun from silver thread and stardust. She was a fairy butterfly. Landing softly on the crown of the giant flower, she tapped its center with her delicate antennae. The petals instantly unfurled. A brilliant, golden light erupted from the heart of the bloom, illuminating her tiny face. With a graceful flutter, she dove directly into the glowing core. The petals closed tightly behind her. She tumbled through a tunnel of light and emerged into a breathtaking new world. Gone was the flat meadow. Instead, towering, snow-capped mountains pierced a violet sky. A massive waterfall roared in the distance, cascading into a crystal-clear lake. Nestled at the base of the nearest mountain peak sat a cozy stone cottage with smoke curling from its chimney. Outside the door, an old woman with kind eyes and silver hair sat spinning wool, waiting. The old woman sighed softly, her fingers pausing on the spinning wheel as she looked down at the tiny, glowing visitor. "I live all alone in this valley," she murmured, her voice carrying the gentle weight of centuries. "No one has found their way through the giant flower in a very long time." She gestured toward the towering mountains and the roaring waterfall surrounding her isolated home, explaining that she was the sole keeper of this hidden realm. The tiny, glowing visitor hovered closer, its light pulsing in rhythm with the old woman's words. The warmth of its glow illuminated the dust motes dancing around the ancient loom. "I did not mean to intrude," a voice chimed, sounding like distant silver bells. "The winds over the great flower ridge carried a scent of forgotten magic, and I simply followed it." The old woman smiled, a map of wrinkles softening her face. It had been generations since anyone had spoken to her, let alone spoken of magic. She smoothed her apron and stood up, the floorboards groaning familiarly beneath her feet. "Intrusion is a word for places with borders," she said softly, walking toward a small wooden table. "Here, it is simply a surprise. Come, rest your wings. The journey through the mist is never easy." She poured a drop of sweet clover nectar into a thimble-sized dish, placing it gently on the table. The visitor landed with a soft flutter, its radiance dimming just enough to reveal translucent, gossamer wings and a curious, wide-eyed expression. As the creature drank, the roaring of the waterfall outside seemed to fade into a peaceful hum, bridging the gap between two entirely different worlds. The gold fairy stopped her glowing hands above the shimmering loom and looked down at the tiny visitor with an expression of gentle curiosity. "The great flower ridge is far from here, and the mist is treacherous," she said, her voice echoing softly off the new marble pillars. "Why have you journeyed into this deep forest all alone?" The little fairy butterfly looked around the magnificent golden palace in awe, then bowed her head respectfully before answering. The little fairy butterfly looked up, her translucent wings trembling slightly as the golden light of the palace washed over her. "An ancient shadow has awakened beneath the roots of the whispering mountains," she whispered, her tiny voice tight with fear. "It is consuming the life from the great flower ridge. Our blossoms are turning to ash, and our magic is fading. I fled into the mist alone because the elders said only the Weaver of Destiny, the one who hid herself away generations ago, could stitch the tear in our world's magic." The gold fairy's smile vanished, replaced by a look of fierce determination. She looked at the golden loom, which was already beginning to glow with a sharp, defensive light.